Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Michelle Keenan, and I just want to thank you for joining us for our live demo today. And it's going to be on creating price list, and this is going to be the simplified version. So these will be the first steps that you would be taking to create your price list within InView. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn off my camera here in just a moment, but I want to make sure that if you are an InView user and you have an account with us, please go ahead and open up your account admin and follow along with us so you can create a price list along the way. Otherwise, if you have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat and I'll try to answer those along the way. But if not, we'll do a quick Q&A at the end. And then we'll also talk about some of the upcoming events that InView is hosting. All right, well, I'm going to turn off my camera and we're going to get started, and I'm going to share my screen. All right. Okay. That out there. All right, so you should be seeing my admin. And first, what I want to do is kind of show you where you would create your price list, where you would find that option. And that's going to be in your InView admin area under Galleries and under Price List Manager. So go ahead and click on your Price List Manager. And here, if you notice on almost every single admin page, there's the option to create. So you can go and create straight from the create button. But if you look here, I already have several price lists in here. InView provides you with suggested price lists. So we have default price list and a default price list with products, but then we also have InView suggested portraits, InView suggested seniors, and InView suggested weddings. So if you would like, I strongly recommend if there's one that you like, most of the products and the pricing that we've gotten in there, you can utilize that. What you can do is duplicate that price list and you can give it a different name. So you would give it a different name by choosing edit, and this could be InView live demo. So that's how you would rename it. And once you save it, it'll show up with that name that you changed. And the reason why you would duplicate it is so that you have the ability to go back to the original price list if you ever wanted to, because once you save over it, those changes, you can't get back to the original or see what that is unless you call our team. But that's just one way to create a price list. With that, you can go in and manage the pricing. You can hide certain products from the customer. You can, remove products or add products to this specific price list. We have different categories if you look here that's already included. So again, that is where you would find the price list and the ability to create a price list. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. And this is how you would make any adjustments to existing price list. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you from scratch how you would create a price list. So I'm going to go ahead and go to price list. And I am going to create a new price list. So you would create a gallery price list. So this would be something you would have available for your in-person sales sessions as well as your client galleries if you're selling through that platform. So we're going to add a new one. So I want to give it a name, first of all. And then once that's saved, you have the option to show additional information. And that would be maybe a messaging about ordering. You have that option right here. You also would want to choose whether you want these products on the price list to be color corrected or non-color corrected. This would apply mostly to events that you are auto-fulfilling through us so that we know that those need to be color corrected and the pricing information is structured within the cost of your products from the lab. So once you've chosen color correction or non-color correction on there and that's all set, you can hide that. And if you look here, we have multiple categories. And the simplest thing is a few things. Prints. We know that most clients want to have prints. So you can simply add prints right here. And you look here, it says add in-view products or add custom products. And we are going to talk about custom products and pro custom products on our next live demo next Wednesday. So I'll make sure that you have that information, but we can touch base on that towards the end. So I'm going to add an in-view product. And these are products that are available for fulfillment through in-view, but you can also set your events to manual or fulfillment so that you can fulfill those through a lab of your choice. So I'm going to go ahead and create standard prints, luster. So I'm going to go ahead and add your common gift sizes here. And 8x10s. I'm going to go ahead and add. So once I've selected all of those that I would like to add, then you just click the button and say add. So now you have all of those here and you want to highlight all of those and hit next. And then it takes you to the option to set each of those with finishes, textures, or mounting options if you want. I will just add it to one so you can see what that looks like. We will do, let's just do this mount. And then once I'm done and you hit finish, it then applies that to your category. So there's the print category. Now I'm going to click on these little buttons on the left. It allows you to put those in the order you want your client to see. So if you want the most popular to be right there, you would click this little button, but you can organize it however you would like. And I'm going to talk about this hide from consumer very soon, but here is just the category itself. I have checked the most popular, and then here is your lab cost with InView / H&H, and here you can put the price to your client. You just simply change the cost, the retail cost right here. So let's do, it's going to cost the same pretty much. And then let's just say 25. So I'm changing the retail price here. All right. Okay, and once you're done, it doesn't hurt. It should save in real time, but I don't hesitate to hit the save button again so that all my changes are saved. So now that you have your print set up, you want to make sure when you move to the next that you have those products listed for collections, because I'm going to show you how to create packages and wall collections. So I'm going to add some metals, and this is again going to be the InView products, and we're going to do large, and I'm going to go ahead and add several of these, maybe all of these. And you can choose the mounting again. So if you want those to be rounded what definition, whether you want the vintage look or that high definition look, which looks really nice with the colors. You can put holes in it. I typically just do the float mount on all of those, and then hit finish, and that'll put the float mount on that item. Okay, so now all my metals are here. And I can then move on to my next category, but you also want to make sure that you change the cost here. There is going to be a warning sign here once we go to save. So I'm going to save that. It says one or more of the product prices you have selected to charge your clients is the same as your cost. So basically it's a warning that lets you know that, hey, you forgot to change the cost to the consumer. It's showing the same price that the lab charges you. So you want to make sure that you adjust that if you do get that warning. And the same with digital downloads, you can add those. We give you the option to customize your digital downloads. So you can choose to sell a custom. So you have this little slider here. It allows you to make any adjustments for that. And you can say, okay, on an individual or a gallery. So individual image or the gallery as a whole. And you can also set the custom price here. You can add a watermark and you can also give the description. Order review allows you to stop the order, which that specific item will pause and notify you and say, hey, you know, you might want to take a look at this image, replace it if it needs additional retouching, things like that, before sending the file automatic through InView for delivery of that digital file. And you can choose color correction, and this is the price for the color correction. But I'm just going to say original resolution, and then this is going to be for individual, and I'm going to say $100. And once I add that to my price list, it is all set right here. The same with gallery wraps, and I'm just going through here just so that you can see the different categories. And let's just say these are 200. I would probably charge a lot more for that, but let's just go for it. So we're going to go with that, and then I'm going to show you how to create a package here in a moment and wall collections. We do have other categories, so you can build out custom categories, and we're going to talk about that in our next live demo. So we'll go through that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now that I have that saved, my price list is set. And then I just want to pause there. So if anybody has questions, I just want to go ahead and take a look and see if we have any questions here. Let me find my chat. Apologize. We're going to see that. No questions. If you do, just holler, unmute, ask any questions for the simplified version. All right. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to show you how to build out a multi-pose package. So if you scroll down, and I have multiple, there is a package category. So when you hit add a package, here you would again give the package a name, and let's just say package signature. This seems to be a popular name. I can't type. All right, okay. All right, so remember how we went ahead and added the individual prints and metals and gallery wraps, all those individual categoried items. So you want to do that because it has to have a category to go to, like a list of items to add to a package. So that's why you have to add those, even though you may not be using them individually to be sold. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. So here I'm going to go ahead and add some items here. I'm going to add, this is going to include a 16 by 20 metal print. And I'm going to save that. And then I'm also going to add individual print sizes. So let's say 2 8x10s and 2 5x7s. Okay, we're done with that. And then I'm going to add one digital download. Okay, so what I was talking about is when you add an item, it has to pull from one of those categories. If you didn't add those individual sizes, then there would be no way to add those to a package, to build a package. Okay, so when you add this to your package and everything's good to go, you can simply see the summary over here. It tells you what's in there. You can hit next step. And here's the description. So it summarizes all of that for you, and you can customize this if you would like. You can stretch the box and add some additional text to that if you'd like, and reset it. All right, and here's where you would put your total cost of the package. So let's just say this is a $3.99 package for now. All right, and here's where you can set the image limits. So whether it's one pose or 4 different poses, you have that option. So I am going to set this to 2 maximum images that they can choose from. I'm going to hit finish. Now that I have completed that, you're going to see the package right here. Okay, so if you have multiple packages, you can duplicate that, rename that package, change the price, and edit the products in there. If you want to save time, that's a little tip that you can do, but you just want to make sure that you make all those changes. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here. I want to talk to you about the items. So in that package that we just built, there's a 16 by 20 metal. And let's just say in a package, typically you won't sell 5x7s or a 16 by 20 without it being in a package. You can simply hide those items from the customer, so they cannot see that individually on the price list to purchase. And this is really good for packages, or also if you are creating a cluster of a wall collection and you might have some unusual size photos that you normally wouldn't sell individually, then you can just hide it from the consumer and they won't even see that as an option to purchase it. Because what if you had like a 12 by 30 size print that works really well in a wall collection, but you necessarily would not want to sell that by itself, because then you have to deal with the cropping and it has to be the right image, etc. So I just wanted to emphasize that you don't have to delete that item even though it's in a package. You just leave it there and make sure this check mark is there to hide from the consumer. Okay, so now I'm going to hit save. Just make sure again that everything is good to go. And I'm going to scroll down and we're going to build out a wall collection here really quick. But I do want to make sure that I'm not missing any questions. Doesn't look like it. All right. Okay, so let's build out a wall collection. So I'm going to hit add wall collection. And again, you can choose, do I want my wall collection to be built out as prints, metals, or gallery wraps? And I'm going to go ahead and say metals for this one, but you can build out several. All right, and here is my collection of metal prints to choose from. So let's do some squares. I'm going to do 3 20 by 20. So here is your lab cost. And so right here, as is, it shows that the price to the consumer is still $218.97. So you want to make sure that you change that price. And you can do that here where you hit edit, and you can change the name. And you could change the price. So you want to make sure that, right. So now we're going to hit next. And here is where it allows you to make any adjustments, like if you want the space to be, closer together, you want this to be a vertical, any alignment, center selection, so you can move them around if you notice. Then they click together. Any adjustments that you would like to make here, you can. You can add additional items here if you'd like. You can add in maybe you want to add another square to make it a 4. And once you're done, and it gives you the total dimensions here. So you know what that's going to be. So if you are wanting to put frames around it and things like that, and I'll show you how to make those adjustments in Room View to see the framing and the matting. So now I'm going to hit finish. And once I'm done with that and it's completed, I'm going to scroll down here to the category for the wall collection, and it's now there. Okay, so I can edit it at any time. I can create multiples, and again, make sure that you save. So we've covered the simple, addition of prints, um, downloads, and we've also done gallery wraps and metals. And again, there's plenty of other options here, so you can add all of those. We do have, for example, products that you can add. Those are pro custom products. So those are all products that would need your attention once they're ordered. So they would have to be custom ordered. They cannot be automatic fulfilled, but we have some already pre-set up. So you can most certainly just choose from our list that we've already created and add that. So there I've added that option. Okay, so now we've talked about all of those. We've built wall collections. We've built a multi-post package. Now I want to show you where you apply that price list and what it looks like from the consumer side. Okay, so I am again going to double check to make sure there's no questions before we move forward. Great. Okay. All right, so if you're following along, you want to go to your gallery manager. And if you have an event already created, you can simply just edit one existing, or if you have one that you just created, I'm going to show you where to apply it. So if it's an in-person sales session, choose edit. And this is going to be under selling. And that setting gives you the option to choose what price list you want to add. So if you have multiple price lists for different events, you can just click through. I'm going to say in view, test. I'm going to hit save. And now it's applied to that event. So once I've applied that to the event and I hit begin the sale, I now have the option to go in and start selling to my client. So I'm going to go to the order button. You can do that from the cart. If you go ahead and click on prints, you'll see the prints that we added, and you'll see the metals that we added. So those are all options to choose from. And you can see those in Room View individually. and you can add additional sizes. So that's how that product works. And then also packages. So if you want to build out your package, you select the package. And what happens is it takes you through that client journey. Now, if you're doing an IPS session, I would probably use dual view, and I can keep this on my screen so that I can build out the package for them so they don't see all of this. But if you're in a client gallery, this is the same path that they would take. So I know in the signature package, I get a limit of 2 images and there's 6 items in here. There's a 16 by 20 metal, 2 5x7s, and 2 8x10s. And I also get an original resolution digital download. So I'm going to go ahead and add my second image. And I'm going to hit done. So I now know that out of these 2 images, I need to choose my 16 by 20 metal. And I'm going to do that because I know I get 1. So if I try to do 2, it says you've reached your item limit. So we try to make that as easy as possible for error. All right, so now I'm going to go to the next item. I get 2 5x7, so I can choose 2 of the same image, or I could do 1 of each. Next item would be our 2 8x10s, and that would be the same. You can choose 2 of each or 1 of each. All right, so now which one do I want to be my original resolution? And that's going to be this particular image. And then it says next item. It looks like we are complete with that, and add the package to the cart. So that we collect all the data and information needed. You can add notes right there. So that's just another key feature. So now that that's done, you now know where those items lie. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back and show you the wall collections. So we built out this 4 image 20 by 20 wall collection. So now I can go ahead and add the images for that particular collage. So any of the wall collections that you built out are going to show up in your store, in your cart, a list of products, so that you can offer those to your client. And then it's ready to display in room view. Okay. All right. So is there any questions on how you apply a price list to an IPS session, or a client gallery would be the very same feature or the same setting? You would add it to the selling feature. And let me check these questions. No questions so far. Does this make sense to everyone? If you could give me a thumbs up or a yes, this makes sense, that would be good. I'm going to go ahead and hit back to admin so I can get you back to the price list manager. And make sure there's no questions on the price list. So I think if you, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing, and I'm gonna turn my camera back on here and say hello to everyone. Hello. So, you know, the title was Simplified, and the reason why we said that is because, and if you're just starting out, or you're wanting to just start putting your work out there and you're new to selling products, we just want to make sure that we give you the tools to set it up easily and quickly. Now, if you're wanting to build out, you know, your own custom products, and InView gives you basically the ability to sell anything in the platform, and that's with our form builder, with our pro custom products and our custom products, and I'm going to show you that next week. But it makes you think about your price structure a little bit more. Do I want to give my client a lot of options, or do I want to make it very simple and easy for them to make purchases for the things that are the most common? So we try to give you those options. But with the custom and the pro custom products, that's if you're broadening your price list and you're starting to add albums and you're starting to add you know, gift sizes and cards and multiple things. So we can talk about that next week. Does anybody have questions at this time? Again, we have our help articles. That absolutely helps. I can show you where that's located. Um, Someone says I may give too many options and they have trouble choosing. It's a
Yes.
fact. It is a known fact. David, did you want to say something? Maybe. Well, it's just a known fact that sometimes when you have too many choices, um, you know, you become paralyzed and you're like, I don't know what to order. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Cheesecake Factory, but I love
Yes.
their food. I think it's great. I love having all those choices, but I get so frustrated because I take too long looking through this book that they give me. And I'm like, I want something really simple to order that I know that I love. And I think that's very similar in this industry. If we give them too many options, they become more paralyzed.
Okay.
And they'll just like, I'll just pick this because it looks the simplest. You know, but we want them to love what they're getting and be happy and not have buyer's remorse or call us back and say, you know what, I didn't need all of that, or um, I want more. It just saves time. So,
Mhm.
really quick, I just want to share. I did miss sharing with you where to find those help articles on that option. So, let me get there. Let me go. So, on your screen here, you have on this page help. So it has different options quickly that you can get to. You can go in and there's a video on how to get started with your price list, an overview of where everything is. You can also just type in our support center. It says selling right here, or you can simply just type something in and it will take you straight to those articles. It's very handy. So that's a good way to locate some help. And down here on every page, this help button, just type it in right there. I know you can't see that very well with my video here, but it's right there on the left-hand side. So I'm going to stop sharing. I do have some links here that I want to give you and talk about some of the upcoming events that we have. Does anybody have any additional questions on the price list and the things that we talked about today before I move on to that? Not so far? Great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add these in the chat. I have a couple of links. One is to help you with the price list, and then the other is going to be for upcoming events. We have Project Obscura is something that we host yearly. I believe this is going to be our 4th year. Amy, is that correct? Year number 4 for Project Obscura. It's a great event. It's a free event, but you have to register to win a seat. That is going to be in Kansas City, and we'll have models and we'll have a whole day of shooting from some of the leaders in the industry. And then addition to that, the second day will be lots of classroom education on how to sell those products and marketing and the business side of things. So then so make sure you register, and that's going to be June 1st and 2nd. And then we have a wedding boot camp that H&H and InView is sponsoring with our good friend Meredith Reinkars. So it's just gonna be an amazing event. So it's gonna be from the very first touch with your customer clear to the delivery of the product. So it's going to be at a beautiful winery here in Kansas, wine tasting, just some hands-on good education. So I advise you to take a look. Amy, did you want to say anything about the boot camp? We're all just getting really excited about that. So I think she left. So please just take a look. Next week, we're going to focus on custom products and pro custom products, what the difference between the two are, how to add those to your price list, and again, how to build those out. And if you have questions before then and want to talk about it, please feel free to reach out to us and our team. But otherwise, I really appreciate you guys joining us today, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.